hard to explain that things can happen to people, and you know, God might say, you cannot stay in this apartment any longer. We are tired of what these people are doing. That's it. But if you don't have anywhere to go and you don't know what to do and your bank account is only so big, you're like, okay, so what am I supposed to do now? So anyway, neighbors of me who used to live at 624 South 19th, we're on 19th Street now, I was at 626, had a son, and he was living in a house down here on Webster. We're just approaching Webster Street now. I think it's 1905, or I'll look at it. They redid it. A lot of people revamped their properties after I left. That includes a lot of clients of mine as a dog walker. People moved and or totally renovated their homes. So some of these places are unrecognizable by photo. You would have to know. So anyway, we're on Webster Street. So I had a client on Webster, but a few blocks over, like on 17th and Webster, or no, I'm sorry, was it 18th and Webster? 18th and Webster. So see how this is the only short house on the street. There's a lot of these tall, all these other homes have been redone or whatever, and that's the only short house, and this is 1905. There is someone in there. And that looks a lot nicer than it was. I stayed in there for about 10 days until someone else said, oh, you know, that I could stay at another home for the duration, sort of almost like house sitting-ish. And they weren't going to be in that home, and it still had running water and electricity and stuff like that. So I was there for about 8 months, and then I moved to Florida. So to be with my mom and aunt, I lived with them. I first visited my dad. For some reason, you know, it's sort of like, say someone were kind of telling you, this is what you need to do and this is how we're going to handle it. That's basically what my situation was. I was scared because nothing goes, you know, like I don't get into trouble. So I was worried that I looked like someone who was in trouble, like as if I, you know, like I don't get into trouble. I'm kind of proud to be someone who's just basically, you know, normal. So other than, you know, how this thing happened. So anyway, it was really bad. It's way worse than I sound or look. I should look a lot worse. I should sound a lot worse, but I'm, you know, what can I say? Someone's out there making sure I make it through until we finally end up in a better place. And oddly, the pandemic quieted things down. It emptied out the city. Go this way. I moved back to Philadelphia because my mom passed away, my aunt passed away. Well, my mom, then it was my dad, and they were in separate households. He lived with his wife of many years, you know, technically my stepmother. And then my aunt, and I lived with my mom and aunt, so I had to move because her sons needed to sell my aunt's house. You know, never have I seen bigger man babies in my entire... I'm like in shock that we're related, because it's like, that is crazy. These people are incredibly messed up. Oh, we have one spotted lanternfly. There's one. Hi, sweet thing. I won't step on you. There's one right there. I don't step on them. We don't have... It's not as huge of a problem as it was back in the day. They went through a big thing here where they had like 1 million of these things showing up like on, you know, retail doorsteps and stuff like that. And people are trying to open their Starbucks, and there's like 60 million spotted lanternflies from China. And they will like hop on you. They don't really hurt. It's just more of a surprise. Like, oh, this thing popped and flew over on my wrist or whatever. I don't kill anything. That's basically it. So I won't even kill the, you know, if there were 50 million of them at a, you know, a store that I was a manager of or something, and you were required to get an exterminator, there's not much you can do. But as far as a single person walking around with, you know, the random, when I first moved back to Philadelphia, I did actually have a bunch of situation, like, or a bunch of lantern flies showing up, you know, popping up here and there, but I just flick them off and that's it. So all right. So I'm heading west here. I'm a little bit early. I figured I'd get out here and do this. This is, they have a lot of kids in this neck of the woods. Should we turn around? So this way I don't want to get all up in the... So some neighborhoods have more kids than others. And of course there's this school here that's with a playground. Uh-oh. Okay. So I hope he's okay there. So that's the dealio. Smells a little bit like rubbing alcohol here. Hey, St. Albans. I don't feel like going further. How far west am I? Anyway. St. Albans is a street that on a couple blocks has like a big garden in the middle. And in fact, St. Albans is famous for appearing on The Sixth Sense, an M. Night Shyamalan film. I'll say that really quiet because we don't want people popping in outer space. But and interestingly, the lead character, technically the Haley Joel Osment was the lead, the kid who saw dead people, and his name in the movie was Cole, C-O-L-E. And my family's last name is Cole, so so anyway, I see dead people, you know. Dead Man Walking, or the Dead Walking Dead, or whatever. There's plenty of people who are, you know, whether through trauma or they're puppeted so much to make it through the status quo. I don't like that word, but they are handled so much to just do everything you're supposed to do, right? You know, you go to school, you get married, you have 2.5 kids, that old saying, the white picket fence, and so forth and so on. And somehow you keep making it and there's no hiccups, like, there's nothing like, oh my god, I hate my job and I want to leave. Like, people just keep paying their bills and somehow they either muddle through or everything's just fine all the time. It just keeps working out. Then there's everybody else where things don't work out and you hate your job and you're like, there's no way you'll put up with what's going on there. So, and human resources is no help because they're part of the mafia ring that owns the company to begin with. So anyway, there are major entities entirely owned by mafia families or similar ring families. The same families will still have certain amounts of power, and that's the way it is. So, sorry to say, I don't mean to be. It seems like people can see a light at the end of the tunnel because maybe they have something changes in their world and like, finally, we have, you know. But, oh my god.